Hi there, this is the continuation of the Interbuilding header. Most of this is in the 184N building. This is kind of how I remember the layout in the building. You had your main door coming in, you'd go up the control room here, change room. Another door come down the ground floor, had your fuel oil heaters here. The Foster Wheeler boiler sat next to them. You had your ignition diesel pumps down here. You had 3 instrument air compressors, 1 surface air compressor. Air dryer sat along the wall here. You went through a door and here's the annex, had the 2 combustion engineering boilers. I believe they had their own separate fuel heater that sat between them. You had your turbine generator, surface condenser on the ground floor. 3rd floor had the turbine and generator. A lot of equipment sat in here. For the turbine generator, the boiler was bigger. Had a couple service water pumps sat back here. Had the deaerator and storage tank was up in the upper floor. Had your 3 boiler feed water pumps down here. That's kind of the basic layout as I remember. One story I've always kind of liked to have seen was when they left a vent open on the fuel oil heater and put it in service, and Nolan Draper walks in, there's oil dripping off the ceiling on him. That'd have been good to see from a distance. But anyhow, this system, you put 450 pounds pressure out of the boilers, fed down a header. You had your 107 and 108 pressure reducing valves. 25 to 30%. The other one would start to open. I believe you could set lead and lag on these. This fed the inner building header, went over to the 109 building. Provided steam to the drive turbines and the steam jet air ejectors. The yard steam, I believe, came out back over here. It was drawn different on here just for ease. I believe the yard steam came out here for heating the black oil tanks and all the heating needs outside. Plus you had your building heat coming off this line. So steam could go either way on the inner building header. For startup, you'd use your boilers, provide steam, and also on scrams, run the primary coolant pump drive turbines. Steam could come back, reactor steam could come back from inner building header, and this would feed the turbine generator, also your deaerator, steam jet air ejectors, and you had your hoggers. These are only used for startup. A lot of plants nowadays will use liquid ring vacuum pumps. This plant used the steam jet air ejectors. They work quite well. There's a lot of backup systems on this. Off the boiler line, you had a reducing station that could take boiler steam, drop it down, run the steam jet air ejectors. Also run your deaerator, gland stealing steam for the turbine. There's a 450 PSI line that went over the 109 building. I believe this is for the emergency seal water turbine. I think they use 450 pound steam. There's also a letdown station that would feed the drive turbine steam jet air ejector header. That'd go inner building header mostly, and it could be backed up with 450 pound steam. So this plant could keep the turbine generator running with just boiler steam, which was needed for startup. And this provided the B bus, and half of all the pumps and equipment ran off the generator. Anyhow, that's kind of how I remember this. Anybody has any more insight into this, let us know. Probably our next one's going to be on the turbine generator. I have a lot of information on this. And that pretty much concludes the steam system on 100N. Thank you.